Someone in the comments said I look like Mama Jack. Guys, do I look like Mama Jack? Mama Jack, Mama Jack, na 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 na, Mama Jack. Hi, my name is Fancy, and today I'm gonna be telling you about my pregnancy journey. I am so happy to be making this video. Okay, I just want to tell you that I had no idea that I was in the beginning because I was so focused on whatever was happening with me. My symptoms started early and it just basically threw me off the ball. So, yeah, every sickness you could think of, I had it. Yeah, I had it. I was always sick. I red eyes. I had acne. I had like terrible tummy ache. I was bleeding. I was having these back aches, like muscle aches, like those. Like my body was just painful, and I was also vomiting. So my morning sickness was hectic, but it all happened within 2 weeks. So in the first 2 weeks of me before finding out, I had everything. And my partner was like, you know what? You are definitely like, there's no other way. I was like, no, not yet, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, you are, because we've been planning, right? And I believe we had two months, less than 2 months of planning. And he was like, no, yeah, you are, and stuff like that. And I didn't believe it because, I mean, I was in denial because, yeah. So he was like, okay, we should go to the hospital just to get checked and stuff. And then we went to the hospital. When we got there, the doctor just looked me in the eyes. She's like, you must be pregnant. I was like, I don't know, maybe. I was like, oh, that's what you came into. Okay, come through. And then we went through and we had the first scan. I was so happy because it was the first time, having that and experiencing that. And the most beautiful thing about it is that I got to hear the heartbeat. Yeah, I got to hear the heartbeat and everything was so cool and calm. I was so content with myself, but I was so nervous and scared. I couldn't think properly at that time because I was just so scared, right? I was so excited, man. I was so excited. And during the scan, we we just found out some detail and everything and stuff. And we were so happy. So the doctor gave us like a 2 weeks notice. So after the scan, the doctor gave us like 2 weeks to go home and then come back like for the next checkup date. And then we went back, but within the 2 weeks everything stopped. All the symptoms that I had, they stopped. I was good, but the only thing that did not stop was the vomiting. I vomited so many times, like even I felt like, because I went to the doctor now, the fact that now I know that I'm pregnant, it just got worse and worse and worse. I was so scared. I was like, oh my word, why am I vomiting so many times in a day? Like, what's going on? I would vomit. I remember doing a tally of every time I vomited. So I would tally on my book so that I can keep track of how many times I vomit in a day. It ranged literally from 18 times in a day to 30 something. I think 38. And that was like the normal ratio. But then there was this other time, like probably like 4 months in, my vomiting count increased. Now my counting was like more than 40 times, 40 something to like 90 something. I kid you not, I would vomit 90 something times in a day. It got so worse. So within after the 2 weeks, we went back to the doctor, and then the doctor obviously diagnosed me with HG. It is hyperemesis gravidarum. It is excessive morning sickness, like it's excessive vomiting basically. And I got that, right? So she's like, okay, you're gonna come back after 2 months, like in terms of the vomiting, the HG, just to check up. But then when it comes to like the baby stuff, I was like enlisted to another doctor, right? So after 2 months, I went back, and then the ratios were good, like still the same. And then the next 2 months, then that is when it was increased, right? So I was then diagnosed with excessive, like so it was moderate HG, then it was excessive HG. I was then had to be put on the double intake of the IV. So every week, literally every week, like every Monday or every Wednesday, I would go to the doctor just to get my dose of IV for the bleeding. I mean, for the blood, for the vomiting. I mean, sorry, for the vomiting and stuff. I would go every single week, once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on how I felt and stuff. And then so when I got diagnosed with the excessive HG, then that was then I would go to the doctor every single day for the IV. At first they were like, no, it's not safe for you to get an IV every single day. It's very dangerous and stuff. And I mean, I totally agree because I was so scared. I was like, so I'm gonna get a needle every single time. There's like, it is what it is. Every single time they'll take blood from one hand, like right here, because they couldn't find my veins from the insides of my elbows, like my arms, the insides of my arms. They couldn't find the veins, so they had to draw the blood from my hand, right? And it was the only hand that they could get blood from. They couldn't get it from the right side. I believe it was because I lacked blood. I didn't have enough blood. Yeah, it was a whole thing. And also they believe that the reason for me to not have enough blood was it didn't cause it. They said that the reason for me to not have my periods, because I've never had periods in my entire life, so they're like, the reason for that is because you have low blood, right? So yeah, so I remember they even put me up on a list to get blood from someone else, like a donor. I was like, oh no, it's fine. My partner can donate. Like, we have the same blood type. Like, we're both O positive, right? So it's like, I was like, my partner can donate, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, fine. And then they had to run some tests and stuff. But then it ended up with them, like with me not needing the blood after all. Because I got checked by several other doctors. They're like, no, she's fine. She's okay. Yeah. So I was so shocked because I'm like, okay, guys, what are you saying? Do I have enough blood or what? Like, why am I not going on my periods? Like, what's wrong? You know? Like, even after giving birth, I didn't bleed. Like, I bled a little, like, I bled the giving birth blood, but just a little. Like, my baby had blood, of course, but then that was it. Yeah. After I took a bath, there's no more blood. So, yeah, that's it. So, so in all the months of my pregnancy, like all, I was vomiting. I couldn't eat. I couldn't even drink water. But the only thing I was craving was water, like cold water. Warm water made me vomit. Like, warm water was the cause, like tap warm water, like, room temperature water. It was the cause of my vomit. I don't want to lie to you. I didn't take any pills. I didn't drink no medication at all. I only had water for 8 months. 8 months of my pregnancy, I only drank water, no eating, no nothing. I was fed through the thingy, the tube thing. And, man, like every time I would go to the doctor, which was once a week, they didn't force anything. They would ask me, are you hungry? I was like, no, I'm not hungry. And then the only time I would eat, like normally, the only time I'd eat, of course I'd vomit, right? Let's say I eat like a burger now. I'm gonna vomit the burger right out, like immediately after eating. I'm gonna vomit. That was my eating. It was like, how people binge eat and then vomit? It was like that with me. So it was like I'm binge eating and then I'm vomiting. Yeah, so That's how it was. And then in my last month of pregnancy, yeah, from mid December to obviously mid January, because my daughter was born in January the 12th. From then I started eating normally. No, the vomiting stopped completely. I was like, oh my word, God, what's happening, God? Like, hey, what is this? Like, I didn't understand. Like, oh my word, I was so happy. I didn't understand how the vomiting stopped, how I was eating. Let me tell you, I had an aversion of chicken. Like, chicken just smelled like poop for some reason. Like, it smelled like sewage. You know, sewage? Well, in my language, we call it sewage, but like, it smelled like sewage, like literal poop. And I was like, no, I don't want chicken. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. I could smell it from miles away. Like, it was so bad. Yeah, so that was what happened. And then, so I was now in my last month, I was now starting to crave like a lot of things. Like, I was just like, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, and everybody was happy. My brain was happy, obviously my partner was happy. And there's this friend of mine, she's so happy that I started eating. And I was content with myself, because I'm like, I am eating finally, you know. It brought joy. Joy, you have no idea. And I want to tell you that in all the months, every single day, I when it was like I walked 10 miles like a day. It was like I would walk like 10 kilometers in a day. Like, hey, you have no eh, like I walked a lot. Like, I would, if you know Pretoria, Westney, I would move from town. No. I don't. It's gonna give away where I live. But then, Joe, I would move from the city. I'm like from one town to another town. Basically, I would walk. I loved walking. Like, it was so bad. I would go to the gym. I went to the gym every single day. Ish. Imagine walking so many kilometers and then still going to the gym. It was like the whole day. That's all I did, literally. And yes, it was the most beautiful thing, man. I don't want to lie. I just feel like I had the most weird but calm. My pregnancy was very calm, guys. The bleeding, I mean, not the bleeding, the vomiting, yeah, it's painful to vomit every now and then. It is painful, I don't want to lie. But I'm just saying, imagine just vomiting and nothing else, no pains, no nothing. I mean, yeah, of course, all of those happened in the first 2 weeks before I found out. And when I found out, I was like a month and 2 weeks. So I was like a month, you know? So yeah, I was still within my month of being pregnant when I was having all those symptoms. So I ate a lot in December and January, and coming down to the day I gave birth. I remember in January I forgot that I was pregnant, because let me tell you why. My stomach was so flat. My tummy was so flat. Like, it was like you wouldn't think I was pregnant. So everyone was like, why are you hiding the pregnancy? I'm like, where? Where am I hiding it? Don't you see my stomach? Is it my stomach out? Where am I hiding the pregnancy? Wow. Joe, so where was I? The day of giving birth. Oh yeah. Yeah, so no. 3 days. I mean, in January, I forgot that I was pregnant, right? So 3 days before the 12th, at night, like midnight, I was like just moaning pain, bruh. I was feeling pain, like, ew, eh, my my abdomen was so painful. It was cramping. I couldn't sleep. I just tossed a lot. I toss and toss. I would toss a lot. You have no. I would toss, like, eh. So on the 12th, So it's the 12th, right? So the very early morning of the 12th, the day I gave birth, around, I think it was after half past 2 or half past 3 a.m., I was feeling the abdominal cramping again. And I remember I just woke up, took a bath in cold water, like I took a cold plunge, basically. I got out, I went back to sleep. So that whole day I was sleeping. And then I slept the whole day right after the midnight bath. So the whole day, the whole morning, I woke up in the afternoon around half past 3. Was it half past 3? No, half past 1. I woke up at half past 1. Now I'm calling Kuja's dad. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm in pain now. Like, what time are you coming back? So luckily I was with my granny, right? So I'm like, my granny's like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, I don't know what's wrong. But then something, like, I don't feel good. My granny's like, what's wrong? I don't feel good. I don't know. Like, I didn't know what was wrong. Remember, I had still forgotten that I am pregnant. That was the problem. I forgot that I was pregnant. So my grandma's like, okay, then call the dad. Maybe he knows what's wrong with you. I'm like, so I'm calling him. I was like, dude, I don't feel good. I'm not fine. And then he's like, yeah, of course you're not going to feel good because you're pregnant, dude. You're going to be fine. I was like, like, because he said that now, and then it clicked. He's like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. So I remember just saying, oh no, like a lot of times, like, oh no, 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 like, oh no. And my grandma's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I was like, I was like, oh my word. Today's the day. I can feel it now. And then my grandma was like, oh yeah, man. So then my grandma was like, okay, yeah, today's the day. It's fine. Are you in pain? I was like, no, I'm not in pain. I'm not in pain at all. But I know today's the day. I know. And then my grandma was like, okay, fine. Go take a bath and sleep. So I took a bath. I slept. I woke up at 5. At 5. In pain. So when I woke up now, my stomach was like, yo, I still remember that pain. You know, every time someone talks about pregnancy or like giving birth, I feel that pain. So now I wake up, right? My granny's like, you just woke up? I'm like, yeah, I want to bath now. I was in pain. I took a bath fast. It's 5, right? So now it's past 5. The minutes are counting. So my cousin came through. He's like, yo, no, I came to check up on you. My granny's like, okay, good shot. Take Fancy to the hospital. Now, let's go. My granny got in the front. I got in the back. That nigga was driving. And then he was like, my cousin was like, do you want to go to the nearest hospital? I was like, nay. We are going to my hospital. And my hospital, like a normal drive, is like 45 minutes. That nigga got there in 10 minutes. He got there in 10 minutes. My cousin got there in 10 minutes. He was so scared. Okay, but before he came, like after I took a bath, now my tummy was getting so hard and painful. Like it was throbbing. Like the cramping was getting too much now. And I was like, okay, I can't take this. So I was literally punching my abdomen, like I was hitting it like this, like I was punching, hitting, like pressing it. So when I pressed it, it felt better. And when the more I hit it, the more, come on, man. The more I kept on hitting my abdomen and punching and pressing, it felt better, honestly. But when I got inside the car, I felt like I had limited mobility. So it was like I was in pain so much. My cousin was like, shh, come down, say no more. He would drove and drove. I kept pushing. I was like, dude, I almost gave birth in the car, bruh. My cousin's like, no, don't push, please. Not in my car. I'm not going to drive well. So my cousin was just so scared about me giving birth in the car. He's like, it's going to be a traumatic moment for him because he won't be able to drive well for the rest of his life, knowing that I gave birth in the car. My cousin is male, by the way. So fine, we got there, like he got there to the hospital. Like throughout the whole entire ride, I was pushing, like literally pushing. And I was like, I think I'm gonna poop. I'm not sure, but I'm pushing. And then immediately he parked there. He was honking from the gate. So now obviously the people are gonna come. I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Now all the doctors and nurses are coming out because he's honking and everyone wants to see where the emergency is, right? So I got inside there and then I didn't get inside. He got inside and parked right by the door. They grabbed me out, they brought the bed, and then they're like, are you pregnant? I was like, yeah. Then the doctor like obviously felt the thingy, the dilation. I was like, oh no, she's giving birth right now. So they laid me down a little bit. It was so hard sitting down. I couldn't sit down. But at the end I sat down and then I kept on pushing. And then the doctor was like, okay, wait, I'm gonna count up to 10. She opened my legs right in front of the hospital door, and then she was like, I'm gonna count up to 10, okay? Okay, it was like the woman, it was like two doctors, a male and a female. The doctor, the male one was in between my legs, and then the female was like next to him holding my hand. It's like, I'm gonna count up to 10, okay? When you get to 10, you push. She was like, 1. I pushed and the baby came out. Kuza came out just like that. Just like that. In front of the door. Remember the patients are in the hospital by the door, by the reception. Now everybody is standing looking. Because they're like, oh, we want to see how the baby comes out. My legs are wide open. The doctors, like I only had 2 doctors and the nurses, like they gave me space. Those people literally gave me space. I only saw one person in front of me and the other on my right side, which was the female. The doctor took the baby out and then he was like, okay, do you see the gender? Do you see the face? I was like, okay, sharp. And then they took her somewhere like real fast, like probably like for 3 seconds, like they in and out. They brought her back to me and then they pushed us. And then they pushed us inside the reception hall by the passage just there while my baby was on top of me. And then they had to check my name, right? And take out my file basically while we were sitting there. And then the female doctor was like, okay, do you trust me with the baby? I have to take her up there to wash her so that they can give her shots and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, do it. She's like, okay, do you have your phone on you so that you can take a picture and stuff? Like, some people are just insecure. So I was like, no, it's fine. I know my baby. But also I was so scared because her fingers were like this, like chicken fingers. And then I was like, okay, like take this baby away from me now. That's why I was so scared. Yeah. And my grandma was like, and then my cousin was like, plus his eyes, like his eyes, like when he's so shocked, his eyes go inside, like yeah, he was like that. And then that's what happened, man. And then they took us to the top. No, they took me to the top, and my granny was following me. She was walking. Ugh, my poor granny. She was so tired. And she's old, man, but she was walking behind us. She was so tired, man. She was like, wait for me. And they were pushing me in the wheelchair. I was like, okay, let me stand up so that you push her in the wheelchair. It's like, I went on you mad. Yeah, so they got up there. When I got up there, they just washed me down there. They checked for any tears and stuff like that. And then I got to see my baby girl. I got a single room. Yeah. I got to see my girl, and then that's it. Yeah, I slept the night. I got there at 6. My baby was born exactly at 6 p.m. on the dot. 6 p.m. on the dot. That's the time that she was born at. So we slept at 6 a.m. We were discharged. I went home. I got home by 6:30 because I was like, I got home at 7:30. Yeah, 6:30. I got out of the hospital because I got discharged at 6 a.m. Exactly 6 a.m. So I'm guessing it took me 30 minutes to pack up and stuff, and then they fetched me. Yeah, I got home at 7:30 in the morning. I was so happy to see my granny. Everyone was like waiting for me by the stoop. I was like, okay guys, why are you outside? Get inside the house. Get inside the house. Yeah, so happy, man. You have no idea. Yeah, that's it. That's what happened, and everything from there was bliss. Even now, everything's blessed. I love my daughter. Everything is cool. My daughter listens. So smart. She's now 3 years old and she is in grade R. Yeah, don't ask me how she does homeschooling. Yes, and I love that for her. I love that for me. I love that I love that God gave me a smart kid that I can take care of for the rest of my life. And yeah, I'm happy. If I get more, I get more. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is, honestly. So thank you guys for watching. I will probably see you guys in my next video, which I'm gonna shoot after here. Yeah, I love you guys, man. Take care of yourselves, okay? Drink water, love yourselves, take care of your skin. I'm trying to take care of mine too. I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. Take care. Bye.